which was interestingly enough picked by Titan, and then Mirage for TSM. So both of these maps play really well into TSM's hands. However, Dust 2 with an unleashed Kenny S is also pretty scary for Titan. The way to beat TSM, by the way, is you got to find a way to limit Zipnix's ability to cover off for Cage and B on Catwalk when they're on CT.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting starting on the Dust 2, the oldest map, and the map that anyone instantly recognizes here in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Of course, we have a lot of, surely compared to a year ago, 2 years ago, we have a lot of new viewers, perhaps coming from a history in 1.6, then just skipping out on CS for a couple of years and then come back to CSGO now. So Dust 2, of course, a legendary map. Everyone has practically played it in their day. And now we're going to see two of the best teams in the world play it, of course. TSM, in my mind, the favorites to win this one. Titan, of course, also a very, very talented team, especially with Kenny S on the AWP. So it's going to be a close one, I think. But I think TSM are going to take it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. I mean, typically you would say that. Again, Titan Online, there's a couple things to consider about factors as we just take a peek into our Vulcan daily schedule. We're not on there today, so we'll pick an ESL team right now for tonight in North America. But the interesting thing about post-LAN, like this is a day after a LAN. TSM traveled. Now, it is only Sweden to Denmark. It's not that much of a travel. In fact, it's quite short distance. I'm not sure individual players how far they each had to go. But they are coming off of a LAN, which is exhausting mentally. And so there is a chance for Titan, who weren't at LAN, who were sitting around this weekend, to catch them off guard. And it's not uncommon that teams after LANs, especially when they go deep into the LAN, give up quite a bit of, I don't know, a little bit more than they should in the games they play. Yeah. All right, we got to pick North American teams. Do you want me to just go nuts on this because they're North American? Or do you want to, like, contribute here?
I'll go nuts. I don't really know too much about North Americans. So
I'm just going to pick...
Take that.
I'm going to pick Roka. Affinity, I want Fox. TL. Of course, you guys want to play this. I'm not even going to explain my picks tonight. This is all North American, so who cares anyway? Just kidding. Nitro is the obvious choice from Liquid. If you guys want to play Vulcan Fantasy, all you got to do is click the banner down below our channel, and it'll take you directly to the website. Use the promo code COUNTERPIT. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. It's daily fantasy, and there's tons of leagues. It's pretty much the fastest way to make money right now in CSGO if that's your thing. It's also a ton of fun because it is a game of skill. You kind of have to know the maps that they're playing. They put out predictions today for today's games in the ESL European division, which I take the blame if anyone gets those wrong because I was part of the process in that. But for the North American ones, they haven't. I'm just doing it in my head here. I think Semphis is the obvious choice with his high ADR. And he's good value there. Let's go. I don't know who plays multiple games in North America tonight, though, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess no one does. LG, let's take Pitt. I've got 2,200 left. I don't want Tarek. He's 14 years old. He's a little bit young for me. So let's go with JDM because he's their new opper. And then from Ace Gaming, we're actually going to skip because they're not going to win. We're going to go back to a team that will win. We're going to take Team Liquid, who's been playing hot lately. And we've got $1,200 left to spend. Let's take Flowsick one. Oh, my God. I'm just over. I can't do math. I guess we're taking Fugly. Done deal. Shot caller, Nitro. And we're done.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah. Semphis has super high ADR right now in North America, so to not pick him is silly. The fact that his value is as low as it is ridiculous. Impsta, he's okay. He's had a decent season. He's usually clutching out rounds. JDM's pretty cool as an op right now for CLG. I think he can be a pretty big factor in that. But anyway, again, if you want to play, head over to Vulcan.com and join in on the fantasy. As we said, maps for today. Dust 2 picked by Titan. Mirage by Team SoloMid. And we are just, I believe, getting ready to roll. Inside Dust 2 already, so it's going to be your standard 5, although they have all kinds of different names, so I now have to figure out who's who on Titan. This is lovely. I love when they do that.
Yeah, this is a throwback to the earlier stages of CSGO where streaming wasn't really a big thing, so everyone was just like, you'd have 10 players on the servers and no one with the real nicks. It was terrible.
That is terrible.
Here we go, so RPK and Existence tagging up, so now we can understand what's going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know who is who out of those two. Apparently, Sed was RPK. Smurfs confirmed. If you see them in a server in Europe, now you know who they are.
Yeah, apparently talking about Smurfs. Actually, if you didn't know, Scream Smurf got Overwatch banned, which is kind of interesting. Adds to the conversation about how Overwatch
Scream
bans
Surf, you
actually.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. I read that on Reddit yesterday. It's hilarious because you know some kids watching that going, "There's no goddamn way this guy can hit a headshot every time." But it's Scream we're talking about, who is the headshot. I thought that was hilarious, and it is true. Like you were about to make the point, it proves that Overwatch is a flawed system at times.
Yeah. But then again, I'm pretty sure it catches a lot of cheaters, so I think it's probably like 90% good, and then there's like the 10% cases with, for example, Scream, where a player of my skill level, for exactly, for like an example, will watch Scream's demo, not be aware of who he is, and then just instantly say it's cheat, so.
Yeah,
But I think 90% of the time it's good, but then, of course, you have these cases.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you go back to that. I think there needs to be some sort of prerequisite to be an Overwatch member. Again, the thing that I look for when I watch Overwatch demos, and I'm not actually part of the Overwatch, but I've seen people do it, and I've been sitting beside people while they're doing it, is I don't watch particularly their aim. I watch how much prediction they have on people's position through walls. That's what I'm looking for. Because high aim, unless it's snapping every single time, well then that's pretty obvious. But if guys just got a wicked shot. Well, I mean, I'm not in a position to judge that, so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more obvious when wallbangs are in place. Either way, we'll ready up here any second, because these guys have been queued by the admins to say that we are ready to roll and get underway for our second matchup of the day. And while we're waiting, I'll just jump over to show you the graph again. TSM do sit on one tie in this group. The team that leads the way is Envious after only... actually, the draw against TSM after only one win. But we haven't seen as much action in Group B, so it's yet to see how it's going to unfold. But we'll see if TSM can recover from that draw, because again, they could actually be suffering from that later on in the season.
Yeah, I think TSM are one of those teams that you definitely would see as going through, if not the number 1 spot, then the number 2 spot. So. But of course, we talked about them coming off a LAN, of course, a LAN win, but still a LAN tournament, so they're going to be a little bit jaded here. I know that most of them don't have more than 1 or 2 hours, or 3 hours from Stockholm, so it's not like as traveling from the US to the EU, so it's not too bad, but it's still a couple of hours, and you'll be slightly jaded from that.
Oh, Existence, he's already pushed up. The knife before we get in the server, so Titan starts CT, but he pushed up in A. And Cajun B had no idea he was coming, so now he's going to fall back. This will give them information that there was at least mid. Doesn't tell them how many are toward Catwalk or not, though, so he comes back over to A to cover off that position, and they're going to catch Maniac all the way back in T-spawn, so double aggressive play right now from Titan to start things off. But good recovery from TSM to pick up one, trade it out, and make it 4-on-4.
Let's see, I sit next to with the bomb. And Dupree might catch a few of the CTs rushing in as they go into upper tunnels, and Dupree sees them. Oh, huge shot from Kenny S, though. Onto Sipnix. That was from tunnels away onto T-spawn, and the bomb is now dropped. So the Tyrants have to retake that before thinking about like anything else in the round, so have to regroup and rethink their strategy.
They're being quite slow about it. Device, I'm not sure if he's got a computer issue or what, just sitting there momentarily, whether he's in console or doing something on his computer to clean something up in the background. They are going to try and head in onto B. Running out of time, 20 seconds left on the clock. That first smoke will bounce just over to the right. That covers off the boxes, but they still need to be aware of Kenny's position on platform. And as they come through, they've managed to get around behind, and Device, he'll take down RPK, but Kenny, he's still alive and well. And can he do it? So far, he's got 2. It's going to be Kerrigan to push through, and Apex will close it out. Titan, they'll hold on with 3 members still alive and take the round.
Yeah, obviously some kind of problem here for TSM, but still they waited a bit too long to push in there. It was pretty obvious. The CTs had rotated 4 members towards the B bomb, so they only had 1 guy on A waiting in long, and he even started rotating. So, but definitely, so a bit of a wrench thrown in the gears of TSM that round. Good play by Titan to do that, and therefore forcing them into rushing that B position which was going to be impossible.
And you have to wonder, because Device, although he got 2 kills when they did enter, so it was fine once things were rolling, but we saw him stop outside B tunnels and sit there as if he was fixing something or dealing with something on his computer. So maybe there is an issue for him that persists, and they're going to have to take care of it, because it was TSM that did call the timeout. I know Dupree said DDoS, but I'm not sure if he was serious about that or not. Hopefully he's not. Because
that's one of the...
Pasha's going to find you, DDoSers.
Yeah. He's going to find cheaters, and he's going to find DDoSers, and then you have to deal with Pasha on your own. And trust me, an angry Pasha is not something you want to deal with. Not that I've tried, but I can imagine.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty buff dude. Him and Freakazoid one-on-one at LAN. Arm wrestling.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for an arm wrestle match like that to be streamed.
I don't know if Twitch would allow it, because if someone like gets injured,
yeah,
bodily harm,
and
Twitch would totally allow it.
Tweeday should be on that as well.
Big old Tweeday.
Tweeday be buff. But yeah, we're just waiting here for the match to restart for Team SoloMid to fix whatever issue they have. I'm actually not sure. I don't think they have moved into the gaming house yet in Copenhagen, so I think they're just pretty much stuck in different places in Denmark. Device especially is stuck on like kind of near me in Jutland, so he's far away from everyone else.
He's the one that he did just like
yeah,
out,
he
by the way,
just
so.
got DDoSed, so.
Yeah. And he was the one that we saw him stopping outside of the tunnel, so it was very blatant that he had the issue. But the fact that he stopped and then ran in and still got 2, that was a rather inconsistent DDoS, because that's a pretty large gap between your disconnect of service. So maybe they were joking. I don't know. It does sound like that is the issue. Hopefully we can get that resolved quickly. But no, I think you're right. So let's ask your opinion on this. The gaming houses becoming more and more of a thing. Obviously, they've been a thing in other games for a long time. Fighting games have. I mean, there's Red Bull documentaries about people that have gone to Korea to live in fighting houses and play console all day. There's League of Legends teams, LCS teams that live in them. You know. It's part of the nature of the game now. Yeah. It's expected that you're going to be in a gaming house. CS is just joining. What's your opinion on gaming houses? Because I know they lack a lot of structure for your personal life. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think in CS, this is going to maybe sound a bit rude towards StarCraft players, but I think CS players are more like they have a bigger need for social life. Some StarCraft players in Korea just lock themselves in that gaming house, play 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I don't think that's possible with many of the top players in CS, because they actually they need that social life to stay healthy, not just in body but also in mind. An example of that could be when Shox played with Titan and he left Titan because he couldn't deal with staying in a gamer house. Some of the other players were okay with it, and then they just went away from the idea afterwards. But I think CS players, for some reason, tend to be more out there in the social circles and don't really enjoy that total focus on the game. And that's why I think what TSM are doing with their gaming house, because it's going to be more like some of the League of Legends gaming houses, which aren't actually gaming houses but are offices. Gaming houses where they can boot camp before tournaments, but offices in the fact that they're gonna go there and play and then go home to their own apartment afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that to say that, because I know NIP, obviously they have a house in the organization, but they don't always use it. It's something that they rely on only for boot camps, that type of deal. But at the same time, the issue that I see with it in some cases, now most of these teams are old enough, but you get some of the younger players in there, and first time away from home, maybe not, maybe it is, who knows. But again, cleanliness, general house maintenance, cleaning bathrooms, taking out dishes, whatever it is, garbage. I've heard stories. You go back to the MYN gaming house, and there's all kinds of issues there. But just general life structure that I don't know, something that I think Daily Dot did a coverage on it last week. I think there was an essay written, and they talked about it a little bit on their show. That I thought it was an interesting aspect, because it is true. I know I left home quite young to play hockey. I know that's a different thing, but we had a parental figure always around us when I was 16, 17 for that reason. And it's just, it's just an interesting topic, because it is the same thing. And again, I think you're right about the Counter-Strike players being more social. That seems to be true. I mean, even when I was in the Romanian DreamHack Bucharest, being near the Dota players. Some of the Dota players were very social. I know Loda was out a lot. I saw most of the Cloud9 guys out a lot. Eternal Envy was actually even a little bit social, but some of them at the same time were like, you didn't see them. Specifically the Chinese teams as well. You just did not see them. And that could just be a language barrier for them, but the CS guys were all out. I saw all of them all weekend.
Yeah. Also, the fact now we're starting gonna get back to this. This is an eco, but most of the guys on the TSM team, for example, have girlfriends. So Dupree, Device, and Carrigan all have girlfriends, and it's going to be hard to balance that in a gaming house. That's why the office thing actually works for them right now. Probably going to get mowed down here in this eco round. Oh, nice shot from Dupree, and Cajun P coming in with one, totally proving me wrong. And now it's a 4v3, one-man advantage for TSM.
It's a decent start to their anti-eco, or rather to their eco, the anti-eco of Titan. Which needs to be cleaned up a little bit. RPK, he's going to try and push forward in the B tunnels. It looks like he wants to get aggressive with the M4, but he needs not to be too loud because he'll get hurt. Meanwhile, it's Maniac who comes down catwalk and catches Dupree. Now RPK has got a chance to fire away in the back of Cajun B, who won't see him coming at all. And that's going to be exactly the case as Kerrigan. Zip Nix, they might get a bomb plant, but they won't get anything beyond that. So money in the bank, but not around yet to them. As Titan, they'll go up 2-0. And again, Team SoloMid, this was their first map that started to be revitalized under the leadership of Kerrigan. Post-Fetish, MLG days. But it's their CT side that I think is really impressive on this map. So we'll see if they can give themselves a chance. They should be able to get about at least 6 rounds, I would say, TSM. I would like to see them pick up 7 to make it, a reasonable half, but... Yeah. Titan's such a weird team sometimes, because sometimes they're amazing against you, and other times they're just not even in the game.
Yeah, and not all of it, but some of it revolves around Kenyas, that true star player. But everyone on that team on Titan can actually step up, but it's just a rare occasion, and sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. But usually, if Kenyas steps this game up, the rest of the team always follow. But here we go, now coming into a B rush. First back coming in from Cajun B. Device also with one. That's RPK and Existence both going down. The 2 older players in the team going down on that B bomb site. Now all the CTs are just caught in CT spawn. Carrigan catching one, but Kenyas bringing it back. Now a 2v4, and, well, they might go for the save here. Yep, they are going for the save, Titan. Saving around 10k in equipment, which is a decent save. But still, you have to remember this is TSM now. This is the first buy round. They don't really have a lot of money, but they're going to get it down in the back and then start building that economy on the T side.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting that, that early buy for TSM, this is going to bring it right back, and they're going to call a pause again. So TSM's issues persist. As Dupree, he'll type in the pause. And I'd be curious to see if it's Cajun B this time who has the issue, not Device. Just because when I saw RPK push on him last round in Underpass, he was kind of staring at a wall. And that might be an issue that has to do with his although he's already bought in this round, so maybe it is Device again. Either way, it seems to be concurrent, this issue for them.
Yeah, and it seems like many other Danish teams are having these problems. We saw Pimping having problems in the first game of the night, so yeah, Danish teams definitely need to learn how to protect themselves from all the bad guys on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, this is an issue. At this point in time, the players should know how to take care of it.
Yeah.
I understand they're fresh back from a LAN, but these are just standard protocol at this point. Run a VPN, sign off, etc., etc. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that it's good some leagues are clamping down on it, but it is an issue that's concurrent in gaming everywhere right now. I mean, League of Legends had major issues with this last year, more so than even Counter-Strike has had this year. So...
Yeah, and of course it's always sad to see, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's the people who are doing this. I'm not even sure what they get out of it, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's fairly obvious that one, they get a little bit of self-glory, and two, it's about the betting and stuff. But I don't want to speculate on that. That's not my business. But either way, it is kind of frustrating to see these games get interrupted by these. Dupree would rather cut his wrist, apparently. So I think that sums it up nicely on that note.
They all agree that they don't want to play like this, as they say in chat. But that's pretty much everyone's thoughts on this topic. But yeah, all we can really do is wait, and hopefully they're going to fix the issue. If not, then they're going to play with a stand-in. And as we saw with Dignitas, they played decent with a stand-in, so it's not over yet. The question is it going to be once again the mystical man Cadian? Is he going to be the stand-in once more?
Well, as you say that, it seems like Cadian is persistent and just wants his time in the limelight, because I've been told by the admins that Cadian is on the way.
Oh, wow. Well, okay.
Cadian just sits at his computer all day and, like, he's probably the one DDoSing them. He's like, you know what? I feel like playing today. No one's going to pick me up. But if I DDoS somebody on a Danish team, I guarantee you I get to play. So he's he's got like this secondary rig beside him linked through an IP somewhere in like Greenland that's DDoSing Denmark, so there's a connection there, and then he just jumps into servers.
Smart. That guy is smart. Evil genius. That is Cadian. And he's going to be stepping in now. Hopefully so we can get this game back in our way. But we have to remember, Cadian, as I talked about with Dignitas, he's not a stranger to TSM either. He went down to the ESL Pro League, the first finals, with them in Cologne, and they actually did quite well. So he's not a stranger to the team. It's not, well, of course it's a downgrade, since he's not Device. I think it's Device.
Do you know what's interesting, though? You say that, and it was Device that he replaced at EPL when they finished third, and he stood in because Device was sick. No comment on that. Yeah. Yeah, I might have got him sick at CPG. Just saying. But it was him. That was when he had the famous knife. That was a pretty. Actually, I think Cadian played well in that tournament, but everyone kind of dismissed the fact that they went out in third place after some recent success, simply because Device wasn't there. And there's still debate whether or not how much that hurt them. But you're right. I mean, Device is the guy that you'd want there at all times if possible.
Yeah, Cadian not a bad player either, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But yeah, they're just trying to figure out what goes on with the money and such. So we should be ready to go now. So here we go. Casper, aka Cadian, has joined us once again, and
they're making agreements. But the interesting thing is they could do the same thing we saw last time, where they actually dropped the EBOT file. I'm pretty sure, but they're agreeing to let him start with 4K because he would have saved the AK and survived, or M4 rather, and survived. They said so. I think they're going to just bring Kenny in. I can place 5,800. Interesting, because this was a birthday gift, so amazing. Oh, apparently it's Kenny's birthday. Is it Kenny's birthday?
I'm actually not sure.
We're gonna go with that. Apparently it's Kenny's birthday.
I'm pretty sure his birthday was like a month ago. I'm pretty sure, because I congratulated him on Twitter. I remember that. So I'm not sure what the joke is here.
I don't know. I just said this is a great birthday gift. Either way, they could be going to 5,800. So
yeah, we're gonna find out later.
So Cadian in. We'll see if he plays the entire match this time. We only saw him for 3 rounds in the last game on Mirage for Team Dignitas. And they'll reset the server. There it is. He's actually going to go to 4,500. So I guess they'll split the difference. And that means he'll have 500 more than what they agreed to. But it looks like they're okay with this. We're going to go with the unpause and get things rolling. So expect Cadian to pick up an AK. There'll be 5 AKs going up against the 2 saved M4s plus the rebot one. I think that was Maniac that went for the rebuy.
And let's have a look how this one goes down. Early smoke coming out from Sipnix. And just setting up here. Team SoloMid just talking about what they're going to do this round. 2 aggressive players rushing in from that B bomb side. KTB taking one of them down. That's Existence, the team leader, going down. RPK picking one up, but then Dupree with the revenge frag. Quickly in with the revenge, as you usually see it. Onto RPK, making it a 4v3. One-man advantage to make that a 3v3 as Apex peeks out and gets Dupree. So bit of a back and forth trade right now, but the terrorists are going to go towards the ace bomb site, where the CTs have 2 players. One of them is Kenny S, but Kenny S does not have an AWP this round. That's the one thing to note.
Casper's going to slide out with Zipnix. And you're dead right, Kenny without the AWP. He's gone over to support mid, which leaves 1 player on Catwalk in the form of Maniac, who now has to play for a retake solo, or at least a hold solo. And in fact, he thinks better of it. He's going to fall off. Now wait for Kenny to get in position, but already Zipnix takes Maniac down. He gets a little bit too quick on his re-peek. Doesn't allow Kenny to get in position. He is on elevator. Apex, if he can hold them on the ramp, might be able to boost on top of him and go for a quick peek, but instead they flash around for Kenny, who now turns back and tries to get the shot on Casper, while Kerrigan, he stays on top of the site. And this will allow Kenny to get toward the bomb, try and get the defuse, but not if Casper switched over like that. And that's a big mistake from Apex to allow him to do that. All he had to do was hold him to the left side, and Katie in the stand-in, he'll clutch the round. And Kenny's going to be a little bit frustrated with Apex on that one because he could have taken the fight himself, but I'm sure he thought his teammate had him covered.
Good run from Kaden, stepping straight in, grabbing a 3-kill, and also clutching that round. And now it's 2-2-2. Of course, we're going to have the eco round coming up for Titans. This should be pretty straightforward from Team SoloMid. Maybe opting for that split B right now. They can get the quick overtake on B, but right now, 2 CT players on that B side. Not going to be a problem for Cadian here. Picks up both frags with headshots. Kerrigan with the Mac-10, of course, knowing that the CTs are on an eco, just can use that SMG. Kenny is last man standing in that smoke with the magic baguette.
The magic baguette. Well, apparently it's not too magical, because Zipnix found him perfectly with the magic clock.
Oh yeah.
So TSM now have the lead 3-2, and again, starting T-side for them. This looks pretty good. This map picked by Titan. We go to Mirage next, which TSM, no surprise, they picked it. We're going to see the hop-out now for Kenny, though. And he's already looking for the mid-pick. One player dropped down. Smoke comes out a little bit late, but he still can't hit that second shot, so now he switches back over toward A. And Dupree, he's already found Maniac.
There's Kenny with the opening. And now he can hold down shot. Oh, that smoke was just a tad too late as Kerrigan picks up the frag. Zipnix coming up from long. RPK in that smoke, completely flashed. Zipnix just not hitting the shot onto RPK, but, well, that's a 1-for-1 trade, and the last man alive will be Existence 1v2. And look at that, they have a molly on Zipnix, and that's right there, just a tad too late. So now it's a true 1v1 full aim battle.
Zipnix is going to fall back. Yeah, this isn't... Oh, he makes it work! Existence gets a little bit aggressive over the top. I thought Zipnix might put himself too far out of position on that one, but it still worked out. So they bring guns right back out. Kieran going to stay on this Mac-10. Now, this will allow his economy to build just a little bit. 1 kill with that, but it's going to be Casper who's actually Cadian, because in the place of Device, who is their T-side op, you see Kerrigan and Cajun B go CT for them. He's going to go ahead and pick it up. So it's him versus Kenny S. What a way to stand in. You got to go one-on-one with Kenny. Nice shot by Dupree on Existence. That gives them some space at B, specifically because they're playing a 3-1-1. So now they'll have to play retake from mid. And it's RPK, who somehow is still alive with that 5-7 as he sprays through the door.
Yeah, the question is, how did he not hit that shot? Of course, he was completely flashed, but if he just crouched a little bit or stood still, he would actually get that headshot pretty easily. But Zipnix just cleaning everything right now. Double frag for him, not losing a single point of health. Apex once again with the CZ 75, so let's see if we can grab 1 or maybe 2 frags here. Nope. Zipnix with the triple. And just a little update from Device. Of course, as you probably have guessed, his normal IP has been compromised, but he is right now trying to get on the 4G internet. He's just going to fix it, and hopefully he'll be back soon when that 4G internet starts working. So hopefully he's going to be back for this one. Maybe next map, we're going to find out.
Kenny looking for the shot. Aggressive, catches Katie, and second player did drop down into dark, but not spotted. And he'll fall back in through middle. Now Maniac, he's going to contribute as well. He'll take down Zipnix. And Titan, for the first time since the opening 2. It's going to make it a bit more of a chance for them on the CT side.
So Kerrigan has to open onto B here. Gonna be him against Existence, as the rest of the team are splitting through mid.
Apex wants to smoke off toward long, but you're right, they've got down in middle. And this is an interesting play because normally you'd rotate one of the players off of A late to make it a 2-1-2 as opposed to a 3-1-3. And instead they leave them all on A, and that gives up mid for free. Nice shot by Kerrigan through the box. It's Existence to go down, and he'll throw the bomb across so he can cover it off tunnels and turn around and just play the game perfectly. This is, again, they give up so much in mid, but Apex manages to slip through before Cajun B, or rather before Dupree can defend Cajun B, so the bomb doesn't get planted. This gives more time to Titan. Kenny S, that's cheeky. It doesn't work just quite that easily for him. As Maniac, though, he's going to find the shot. Readjust his recoil, take down Kerrigan, and now Dupree has to take the fight to Ken. He does so successfully, but again, this bomb is yet to be planted, all based on the fact that Apex got through for free.
Oh, and right now Maniac is playing mind games with Dupree. He could be technically in both positions right now, a bit of a Schrodinger's cat situation, but it will be Maniac in the end with 6 HP. And then triple kill to end that round. Well, that was kind of like when Apex jumped through that window, Dupree should actually have had him. He was on that position and he just did not hit the shots in time. So Dupree kind of bring himself in the hard situation, and then of course in a 1v1 it can only go so many ways, and when Maniac is playing to his best and also playing mind games with you, it's going to be incredibly hard, and therefore it was Titan to win that round.
Yeah, that was wise to Apex to push through, because it definitely brought things back again. They had the early picks, but it was still them getting inside the site. Good play by Apex, covers off for Maniac, who passed the other side of the smoke and wasn't spotted by Kerrigan. So again, Titan get the early pick, but look at this lineup on B. In they go. They didn't know RPK's at the fence, though, so he gets 2 for free before finally getting counted out by Zipnix. And Existence, who's trying to peek from behind the box, can't land either shot. In fact, he took 3 before Zipnix found him as well. This time they'll get the bomb down quickly, but again, still a man down. So Cadian needs to pick his angle perfectly here with the op on the platform. You'd expect him to cover tunnels, but they're going to shift it up. They're going to let Zipnix get over close to the tunnels and let the op just carry off in the back angle. Problem is this gives up window, and the fire on Zipnix right now. He's down to 9 HP. Casper hits the shot. Kenny goes back into him, and Maniac, he's going to find Zipnix. He couldn't even find the first kill, so they'll get another retake. They'll get another defuse. And they're going to break the economy on that as well, though Zipnix somehow has built himself up to 10k. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Zipnix's going to be the good teammate and drop a weapon for one of his friends. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an AWP, not just any weapon.
Yeah, I was going to say, based on the math in my head, they'd have to force buy here, but strictly based on his income alone, they'll be able to buy out.
Yeah, Kerrigan without a weapon this round. Just walking around in spawn saying, hey, I need a gun. And he gets one from Zipnix.
There's this hilarious bug right now in my GoTV. I don't know if you see it, but I believe it's RPK is listed as a terrorist when I see him, so it's confusing to me in the overlay.
Oh, it's not for me, so just you. Lucky you.
That's okay. Just makes things exciting.
Yeah,
he's the spy in Team Fortress 2 right now.
Exactly. So right now, CSM are just gearing up for yet another B split, setting up for that smoke to CT and then pop flash through mid. Then Casp and Zipnix gonna take it from tunnels, but Apex is in position in middle, and he picks up one, takes that 1-for-1. Now the terrorists are gonna push in. They're gonna push in through tunnels as well. And is it Existence? Existence is behind the spot behind the wall. Maniac picks up one, and I think they're gonna be pretty good. Like, this site is good. They have it under control. They have it on the lockdown. And there it is, double frag from Existence. This time proved to be way more efficient than on the back of that bomb side with the AWP. He just needs to get in close with the M4 and no problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is good stuff from Titan to bring this back, because now they've got a chance to go up for 6 rounds right now as well. Dupree, he's going to take the bomb down into the lower tunnels. Kenny S waiting. Standard play from him at mid. Needs to be a little bit careful because they are up close, and he actually dodges the flash, predicts that one perfectly, goes for the re-peek. The deagle in play from Dupree, and he's willing to man up and take the fight. Not too many people would against Kenny's op with only a deagle to work with. Apex, though, he's going to finally open it up, takes down Kerrigan, and he turns back to long, finds another one on Cadian, and he may pick up a third in the round as Dupree there finally gets him with the deagle. Brings it back to a 2-on-2. Kenny had dropped down afterward as he stuck around a little bit too long to battle up close. And Dupree's going to get a bomb plan out of this, so already a bit of a win in the round, and they've got an M4 down. Or picked up, rather, in Zipnik's hands. He's out toward long, so he just needs to secure that angle. In fact, he's going to push aggressively toward mid just to make sure he's not going to get countered. He'll work up catwalk. So Dupree's solo and manages to hit the first one. It's left to RPK, but that's planted in a really odd spot for Zipnik's angle to come out back out from catwalk. He needs to go right away, and RPK hears him coming. Full 10 seconds to fuse. I think he's just barely going to have time. Although I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, he will. He's going to get this.
So Titan now coming back into this one with 4 rounds in a row. 3 defuses also in that. So They're really showing that their retake skills on this map is like they're exceptional to retake. So right now, of course, Kenny picking up the AWP as well. Black in the head armor doesn't really matter that much. He's up against AK and Casper, Cadian with an AWP of his own, not Kerrigan with the ult this time around.
Shots coming out from Dupree. He makes his way over to the dumpster, but Maniac, he's going to get to the adjacent side. Goes kitty corner, and finally Cadian will catch Maniac. The fire burns away Cajun B just before that, so Apex is adding to his tally. 2 more to make it 3 total in the round. And Kerrigan suddenly alone. RPK. He's just going to cover off Catwalk. They've got the bomb down, so they'll move out Existence to support Apex's position, but he doesn't need the help. He's got it all himself.
So here we go, 7-5. 5 rounds in a row for Titan. TSM slowly dwindling in the economy. Casper actually this time around, Cadian, only with the CSET 75. And a couple of smokes and another grenade, so not really a weapon for him this time around. But only a few rounds remaining in this first half, so they'll have to figure something out.
RPK is going to look over top of the boxes with the smoke. Maniac wants to be the one to get aggressive this time. Nade bounces through. Zipnik's, he's waiting, but Maniac's actually got through that smoke unsighted by Zipnik's because he changed his position, and Maniac's going to take advantage of that. So much like we saw in the pistol round, Titan now getting aggressive on long to get some map control and some information on the opponents, but they come up Catwalk. They do manage to collect the second pill. The first one did go the way of the defense, but they open up the site regardless. They have to plant for Cat, though, because no long control, and that's due to Maniac pushing through. Because if Zipnik's won that battle, then it becomes really unfortuitous that Titan would even have a chance to retake this. As Maniac flashed off, has to take the battle down to 58 HP, but still wins it against Cajun. Gives Existence a chance to come up the ramp, and it's all left down to Kerrigan and Cadian right now. But time's continuing to tick, and they've yet to put themselves in position to get on the defuse, and they know Casper has to be behind the box, and it's a great play from Existence to get on that. He sprays back through the smoke, and even with the smoke out, they'll be able to go for this defuse. Oh, wait, though, because the fire's in place, and Kerrigan gonna get burned alive. They do have a kit. I think they might have enough time, but it's gonna be very close right now for Existence, and if Kerrigan wins that based on a Molotov, it would have been brilliant, but Existence just in the nick of time. He will get it.
Well, close round, and 8-5 once again, but we have to remember that Team SoloMid, even though they are behind now and chat is going all crazy, Team SoloMid, they are a solid CT team, so this is not over yet, not at all, and they still have a chance to win these last 2 rounds here. Kid in with the AWP once again, but as I say that, he is removed from the equation by the monster. That is Kenny S. And Kenny is currently sitting at 12-8, so monster of a game from him so far. Of course, he's going to add even more as we go into the second half.
Great shot by Kerrigan. Yep.
Yeah, still in T-spawn.
That's 2 for him now, 2 on Apex, so that's a great start. Brings it right back to 3-on-3. Might have a chance for another. As Kenny S look to get a little bit aggressive. Existence, though, waiting on the left side, so Cajun goes after Kenny as he hears him fall back to CT and gets caught by Existence on the way through. Leaves Kerrigan, like you said, way back at T-spawn. Still there, by the way, with the bomb. To work with only Zipnik's. So the strat caller and the support player. All the big guns down already for TSM. And they want B. We'll see if they can make it work because they're going to walk into exactly where Existence is playing, and he pops up perfectly this time. Zipnik's goes down, and Kerrigan, he can't hit the shot with the AK. Does leg him up through the box. Second time's a charm. He catches him on the way over, and when he switches guns, Kenny's there. And he's been waiting all the while. It's going to be 9-5. Good comeback in the half, considering it was 5 unanswered at one point for TSM. Well, they've all been answered now, and 1 round left.
So economy is going to come into play now as we see 2 auto snipers picked up for Titan, and on the other side we have 2 pistols and 1 Galil for the Taris. So economy is going to play a big role in this round here, as Titan of course are the favorites to win it. Wow, Kenny S once again. Huge frag to start the round, takes out Kerrigan, and all of a sudden this is becoming an easier task by the second tier for Titan.
Well, I mentioned that they should be able to get 6 on their T side quite comfortably for TSM, but now they're battling just to do that, specifically being a man down and with only the Tech 9 on Cajun B. It is a bit more of a problem for them. Apex is going to slide up the ramp. Kenny, he'll get aggressive on the drop, so one shot down, he'll go. That puts Apex up in a position to cover off as soon as they try and rush through and catch him off guard, so it's basically bait and switch. But Kenny in a bait and switch position. You can count on him to hit the first shot. He peeks out, and now it's going to be Maniac with the auto sniper at the car position. Coined by Kerrigan, and he takes down Zipnix, and now it's just, unfortunately, Cajun B against more than 3. It's going to be 4. He does have the prettiest AK in the game, but we'll see if he can make the prettiest shots he's ever done, because it's going to be a pretty unfortuitous clutch. And there it is, Kenny S. He'll close it out. 10-5 Titan. That's a very solid first half.
Definitely very solid. And now they're going to have Kenny S on that T side orb. And I'm very, I'm looking so much forward to see Kenny S once again play and cast him on that T side orb, because he is, along with JW, one of those players that could just do crazy things.
And yeah, this is, I mean, again, the dynamics of TSM's CT is pretty good, but without Device, it takes a big part of it away. Puts a lot of pressure on Cadian. Cajun B aggressive on Catwalk. He's gonna get spotted up. So far, not equaling the damage. And shoot onto him. He's down to 7 HP as he falls back to the corner. And Casper, he's gonna slide back out. Comes with Dupree, so brings back up. And nice shot over the smoke. It's Maniac to drop, but they've still got around the corner with at least 1, make it 2, so they are pushing on to Catwalk. They have a double support system going on the site. Unfortunately, they're going to split that up just a little bit, so Kerrigan's gone back over to long corner. He'll try and go for the repeat, but he's dinked down to 11. And good thing for Cajun that he hit that shot, because he was left alone on the platform. Existence will take him down with just a nade. But it's all on Apex. They've done the job. They've found enough kills when they came around the corner. Although Apex is going to bring this back to a 3-on-1. Little did he know Cadian was still at middle. He catches him off guard before he can round the corner and get out of line of sight. So that's going to make it 6 for TSM. They start off with the T pistol, or CT pistol rather. I mean, this is a good start, but again, it's going to rely on them getting an op-out and how they play A and how dynamic they want to be. And if Titan, I mean, if Kenny S can start getting opening picks, things will fall apart very fast for TSM style.
Yeah, let's see here. Apex has picked up the scout here. Interesting that it's not Kenny S, but he's probably saving up that AWP. And, oh, Apex misses that shot. Trying to go for a second one, but it's not really going to happen now because the CT has rotated all the way into spawn. Now the terrorists are looking for another way in towards either of these bomb sites. Looks like they're going to go for the A one this time around. But Zipnix is ready to greet Apex. And, oh, there's another teammate in there. Getting Apex down to 71.
Gives Dupree a chance to lurk, but they do want to take Catwalk. And this is the thing. This is where Zipnix has to be super solid to be able to be in a support position. It's going to be Kerrigan who lines them up. Cajun B drops on the ramp, so they've actually shifted the play entirely as Dupree and Katie, and they're going to rotate all the way back over. And down they go, burned alive. Maniac, that just caught the left toe of Kerrigan, but it was enough to take the remaining HP away, but not with Dupree arriving on the scene. So a slight change in how they normally play, because typically Cajun B is the one that was in Kerrigan's position, but where it's rifles out, they let him slide down to CT and leave Zipnix long. You'll see Kerrigan typically be the one to hold long once things get established, so whether or not this is a result of not having Device, but again, Device is normally at B, that shouldn't change too much in their A play.
Yeah, that's a good question, a fair question as well. But of course, it always affects the team having a stand-in. Sometimes they'll just like put the stand-in in the disconnected player's position, but when they actually know Casper or Cadian this well, they might actually do some other stuff to play around him because they actually know his strengths from playing with him in previous teams. So that could be one of the factors here. Right now, it's a 5v4. Of course, Anika rank coming in from Titan Team SoloMid. 3 rounds away from equalizing here on D does 2, the first in this best of 2.
Titan this time are thinking better of walking into A. So Dupree is going to be the one that comes under pressure. As he sits in the position inside the site, Kenny S, he's going to watch the lurk behind, and here they go around the corner. Maniac's the first in. Casper, though, he's going to hold true, and Dupree, he'll find the second, make it a third, as he finds Kenny S with the USP, and suddenly Existence not looking so happy, and quite comfortably numb as he falls down. It's going to make it 8 rounds for TSM. But here we go, Kenny S. No surprise, he's already got it out.
And he's going to do battle against Cajun B, it seems like. So interesting choice here. Of course, Cajun B as most of these players on TSM all capable of using an AWP.
By the way, there we go. We just saw TSM using what everyone's sort of going to now by popping out the HE grenade to cross middle, so that way they can keep an extra smoke over on the B site.
Yeah, that's a nice little thing that the teams have started to do. It's one of those small things that you don't really notice if you're in my position. You don't really have too much time to watch CS. Hopefully that'll change in the next couple of weeks when I'm done with my bachelor's degree. But it's these sort of small little things that actually change the meta of how you play a map, and I find that incredibly interesting.
Maniac just tries to find a way in toward A. That flash comes out a little bit early. He dodges that effectively. But here we go from Dupree. We're on 50 seconds by 45. He should start pushing those tunnels like he normally does, especially now that they're on A, so he'll be able to wrap in behind toward mid. And they'll get an early rotation out of this. And Kerrigan, who's waiting all the while with the SMG, he finds Maniac and Apex swapping over to the AK. Pop flash through. They've got a crossfire on him, so he's got to find the first shot successfully on Existence. And Kenny, he falls back to try and get a better angle, and as he runs, he might pay for this. Kerrigan's not foolish enough to chase that out, and RPK somehow turns this round back as he finds Cadian and Dupree both pushing out of B, and the flank doesn't work, so RPK now has middle open. They'll smoke off CT, and Titan has a really good chance to get this bomb down and make something out of this round.
Yeah, definitely, because Knes is pushing in from those stones, and if RPK can just hold him off for 5 more seconds, that bomb will be down, and oh, Knes got hit through the wall. 16 HP, not dead yet though. 1 frag more coming in from RPK. Can he land the 4th? No, he can't. It's going to be Kerrigan to pick up his 4th frag, and now Kerrigan is going for the AC as Knes is in this 1v2. Cajun B waiting just behind the boxes as Kerrigan is going to flash himself in. Both players are coming up now, and Knes needs to be on point right now. Lands the first one with a huge headshot, and now 16 HP. Oh, he's flashed. He goes in through the window. What a sick
That's
play.
ridiculous.
So low on HP though. Kerrigan is hunting him. He has to do something now. He doesn't have a kit. This is over.
What?
Yes. What was that?
That's ridiculous that he pushes through on a flash, and never doubt
he was
Kenny.
Incredibly flashed.
That round
could not see a thing.
Hats off to Kenny for closing that out, but that round was all RPK to even give them the space, though. Those 2 kills at mid was nuts, and I don't even know how Kenny gets through that window. He can't see a thing. Guy goes right by him, peeking to the back of the site. And Kenny do it? Yes, he can. He takes the round. What a play.
Sick play from Kenny S. Maybe not really to his knowledge, or maybe it was just like muscle memory. He knows exactly where he is. Doesn't matter if he's flashed. He's just going to walk around and do what he wanted, even as he wasn't. But yeah, it's going to be a force buy here once again, coming out from Titan. Of course, even though they won the last round, economy is not looking too hot. TSM does have some money in the bank. One more AWP in the hands of Caitlyn B.
Maniac now, they're going to try and come up. Now, this is where things get interesting for Titan, or for TSM rather. So they have a player that's dropped down. That puts pressure on the support player inside CT, which in this case is Zipnix, but unfortunately he hasn't fallen back to find them, so Kerrigan's going to come from long spot Apex. Problem is they're already in position to plant, so now Cajun B, who wasn't covering the corner angle in this particular round, has to play for a solid retake. And normally TSM's a lot more aggressive about holding that cat take. They do spot up Existence in the corner. They have the man advantage. In fact, significant man advantage. It's only RPK that's left, so TSM passive instead of rather holding directly on the corner, and they make it work, but they give up a lot more than they normally do in that certain position, so adaptive play, it still works out for them, but very, very peculiar that in 2 straight rounds now they've changed things up on A that they don't normally do.
So right now, Titan with a 2-round lead and forced with yet another eco round here, so it's going to be probably 10 to 11. Might even go for a double eco. Not quite sure what they were on a run here on the T side. Probably not, but still, they're kind of, even though they have had some tremendous rounds, they're still with their backs against the wall. They have to make something happen. They're on the T side. The pressure's on them to do something. TSM can hold back, as they have, like, they're known to be one of the strongest CT teams in the world, so they can just hold back and do whatever. So Titan has to come up with something incredible here. Not really in this round, but in the next round they have to do something.
And here's this more default setup that I was talking about. So Zipnix, rather than rotating over to cover off mid, because there hasn't been a lot of presence, he's actually going to stay closer to the A site. We already saw him get the first pick on the ledge and then drop. Cajun will come up. They'll cover this elbow when they come through. So here it is. All Xyp9x has to do is keep them distracted and in place. So Cajun B can do exactly that. First kill for him. The problem is that they give up the ramp by having Xyp9x further up toward the A site. So that happens to Cajun as a result. But it's Kerrigan now who holds on to this. So Titan actually were quite effective by catching off 2 players simply by dropping down the 1. And Kerrigan, he'll get the last kill. But that's how Xyp9x and Cajun B play off each other so well. And they'll wait just to make sure they pick up the AWP that Cajun dropped before they go for the defuse. But TSM, they're going to get one more round. It's going to be 11-10.
So here we go. What's going to happen? They're going to buy up and have 1 AWP on Kenny. So no secondary ops. Not really that much of an upset. But we have to note that Kenny is running the glass cannon setup right now. No armor for him. So the money not really allowing him to get armor, which is questionable. But here we go. Hopefully he can make that all pay for itself this round.
Well, if there's anyone who can, it's Kenny.
Definitely.
Cajun B this time's actually going to be the one that rotated to middle, so they've got a call for whatever reason to pull Cajun over. Leaves Maniac to take the battle one-on-one with Kerrigan. Dupree is going to cover the angle, so double op, and interesting that it's Dupree. Because typically it would be Device, so you'd think Cadian would grab it, but it's Dupree that's going to hold it over on B.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about TSM, they can pretty much all of them up. Everyone on the team has had a highlight reel where they get like 4 or 5 kills with the AWP, so they can just do it on spawns if they want even.
Maniac and Kerrigan are staring each other down, little do they know. Dupree, he's going to fall back because mid's been opened up, and he'll find the first on RPK, so no further he will go. Kerrigan, nice push through, catches Maniac, and it's not common Kerrigan pushes that position, so strong confidence for him to make it work. As Cajun B now finds existence, and this is all TSM at this point. They can't do anything, and we talked about, you said Kenny S, make that op pay for itself. Well, he didn't do anything with it, and Cajun B, he'll clutch out Apex. That's a perfectly efficient round from TSM.
Yeah, and this is the TSM that we're used to seeing, and this is probably what they need. They just needed a little time to warm up again to get that muscle memory going. They're probably a bit tired after Fragbite Masters, but now they're rolling. You see, technically they had that one-off round, but apart from that, they have 6 rounds in a row now on the CT side, so TSM looking back to their normal form here, and if everything goes as I would probably predict it to, they're going to take... I think they can take the remaining 5 in this one. They're just that good.
I mean, this is one of their better maps for sure. There's no doubt about it. So Titan picking it against them. Either suicidal or overly confident in this case, but we'll see. I mean, it's still 11-11. There's still a chance here, especially if Kenny can get rolling, but Apex already out of this one. It's a full save. Let's Terra's perspective. P250's up. That's it. RPK, he's going to take down Cajun B. Makes it work as Cadian. He's going to get traded out as well. Kenny's going to pick up that kill. And now Dupree, who thinks mid's where it's going to be, realizes Maniac's still coming over from the tunnels and takes a heap of damage. He's down to 3 HP after 2 dinks. And in comes Kenny S. Now, he picks up the M4 on the way through. So Titan, all of a sudden, on an eco, rather, could make this quite interesting as Xyp9x spots existence trying to cross. Doesn't land the kill, but they know Kenny's already gotten over there with the bomb. He's going to fake this out. Xyp9x, he's going to try and push it smartly. Doesn't go all the way through because Kenny was waiting and easily would have had him down.
Kerrigan coming in there with 1 frag. Can they lock Kenny down as well? Kenny right now 3 kills, 23 seconds to go. Has to smoke this one off and then rotate. Is he going to go? Yeah, he's going to go for the A side, I think. Which is pretty much where Kerrigan is going as well. So no real mind games coming out from Kenny here. Just going straight for the obvious plant. Is he going to plant? Where's he going to plant it for? He's going to plant it for short, which is pretty much going to be his demise because Kerrigan is going to come up now. And Kerrigan misses the spray!
You don't miss against Kenny.
Wow!
That's ridiculous.
He should have had that. That was... It was even planted like towards the position he was coming from. You just don't miss against Kenny because even though like technically you have the upper hand, he's going to take it from you if you miss that first shot. And well, I said Team SoloMid would take it from here. Of course, cast a curse. They lose to an eco. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when Kenny picked up the op, he had something in mind, so well done by Titan to bring this back, and now they've got confidence. They're going to get straight up mid, no smokes out, no one in position yet. Xyp9x again, they went for that 3-stack long. He's a little bit late getting there, and Maniac, This time he's not going to get pushed by Kerrigan. He's going to take the fight directly to him inside pit. So Kerrigan's locked down, 41 HP. Cadian's burning alive, and he's going to actually finally respond into existence, but only after Dupree drops before that. And although Cajun B comes over to help his friend Kerrigan, all he really does is baits himself out so Kerrigan can trade the kill. And Apex, he'll find Cadian, so it's all left to just the one TSM player. And this is, I mean, Titan, this is a great response. They win the eco, and then this round they just go all out. They rush pretty much everywhere down through mid, get aggressive, and again, that pick it long just to keep Kerrigan in place just shows that they've got the confidence again.
Yeah, very, very impressive from them, and they might actually also have the chance to pick the weapon off Kerrigan, as they have, I think it's Apex going very aggressive, just looking for Kerrigan, wanting to take that AWP off him. I don't think he's going to find him though, so Kerrigan's going to be able to save that AWP, bring it into the next round, where, well, Cadian has a lot of money, the rest of the team not so much, so they could do some kind of weird force buy if they wanted to, or they could just run that sole AWP on Kerrigan. That's what they're going to do. So C-set 75 for pretty much everyone. Aggressive peeking though coming in from Kerrigan here. Has his teammate with him, and this is an interesting boost. Probably going to be able to take out Apex as he comes towards lower. Nope, he gets flashed. That was a genius flashbang there. Great play from Titan, and now they're going to rush along as well. Kerrigan might be in trouble here. He flashes both terrorists, but he has to drop down to CT. And once again, he's almost all alone. I mean, he's already now going for the save.
That all comes off the back of the call, too, because Apex spots the fact that Kerrigan's blatantly boosted, so there's two cat, and they haven't spotted anyone out contesting the long doors. You can tell they're playing passive at that point, so really smart read by Titan to go ahead and rush down long as soon as that play was made by Apex, and now they've got a bomb down, they've got like, full control. Kerrigan's trying to go for the save, and Cadian, who's recovered an AK in this round, he's going to try and do the same, but Kerrigan just gave himself away, and Maniac was up close, so that was an easy pick for them.
Yeah, now Cadian is in trouble. One coming from T-spawn and two in that B-bomb side. It's not going to be easy for him to save this one. They're just waiting the timeout, so the bomb's going to explode, and then get the kill. Oh wait, as I say that, screw that. Existence pushes in, gets killed by Cadian, and they're actually not going to get the kill. That's quite surprising with Cadian being this low on HP, but still, it doesn't really matter because they're on 14 rounds. Of course, you don't really want to throw anything away against Team SoloMid, but still they're on 14 to 11. They have money. Team SoloMid have money as well, but it's kind of, yeah, they're pretty much broke here. We also see Cadian going to run that glass FAMAS, not something we see a lot, but their economy is not really that good. And Apex just running straight out.
That's massive, because this is what they're trying to play for, and they take too long in spawn, a little bit late throwing the gun over toward Cajun B. They actually bought out an op to pass to him, and typically what TSM do is run the 3 long just for that exact occurrence, to take down a quick push from any team. And Titan, they beat them to the corner, they get the first pick on Kerrigan, and Cajun B can't do anything with the op, and it's all for naught. Now Zipnix just has to play recovery mode. He manages to give them back the man advantage, but I mean, Titan are winning the battles, the key battles that prohibit TSM's defensive style from even working.
Yeah, and now of course Titan are getting really aggressive because they sense that it's working, but they have to stay, have to have a fine line between these two, because we saw one player, I think it was Existence, just running straight through a smoke on that A-bomb site and just dying, which is in a position that if he would have just took like 1 second to think about the situation, he wouldn't have run through it. So they have to make sure that all this confidence does not really like rise too much to their heads. So they end up doing stupid situations. Right now they're holding it down, so it's not really going to be a problem for this round. I think as Cadian is in a 1v1 against KNS, and he's not going to win that. Technically, the bomb is actually planned okay for him. Let's see. He's going to go straight for the defuse, and KNS knows what's going on. So that's going to be 15 to 11. And Titan on map point here in this best of 2.
That's a great start from them. Again, TSM, they've already given one draw up to Envious earlier in the season, so this could be very similar for them. If they don't win this one, the best they can do is play for that single point on Mirage, and they'll be in a very similar position to Virtus Pro, who are in Group A that sit on 2 draws. And essentially that means playing for what would be the lower bracket. Although it's yet to see what happens with the rest of the group at this point, as Cadian, he's going to fall back out toward middle, and leaves only one inside this site. RPK's taking a decent amount of damage against the battle with Maniac, but Dupree, he's going to fall back over.
Let's see here. 2 CZ75s on TSM. They don't really have a lot to offer in this round, and well, packs against the wall. Gonna be tough for them. But then again, they have that second map as we talked about, Mirage coming out. So it's not the end of the world. They can still salvage a draw, but they're TSM, so they don't really go for draws. They want the full win. I'm sure that's what they're talking about right now. Still wanted to go for it, even though they have to clutch 4 rounds in a row. And here we go, Dupree starting things off with a frag onto RPK, holding down the speed bomb side, but Apex comes in though with a headshot straight onto Dupree, and now the terrorists are taking over the speed bomb side. There's only one player, and that's Katie, and he's going to pick up one with that CZ75 though. Waiting for his teammates to already being there. Carrigan picking up one as well. Existence and Kenny S bomb going down right now. Kenny S covering his teammate. Good cover, but it's still a 4v2.
Nice shot by Kenny though, catches Kerrigan. Existence now inside the site. Thanks to that kill, has a bit of a chance. He's just going to play the corner, make sure they can't push through. Finding Zipnix on the first, and it's Cadian who tries to come above, but at the same time gets traded by Cajun B, who now has to take the fight to Kenny, and Kenny's too smart for this. He's not going to allow that peek, and then he goes right back after him when he hears him running over toward the defuse, and that'll do it. So Titan beating TSM on Dust 2. That's quite impressive because they haven't lost too many matches on this map so far, so great job by them. And I mean, Kenny was pretty solid. You go back to that round by RPK where he split the defense up by getting those 2 picks at mid. That really was what set their economy back in motion. And then they win that eco as well where Kenny clutches it out. So both those rounds, high impact frags from both RPK and Kenny. So map 1 goes the way of Titan. Map 2 is Mirage. We'll take a very short break and we'll be right back, guys.
Now we are the champions.